Good news, Titans fans. Ran Carthon has made it clear that the Titans are not tanking. And if that's good news to you, you love to hear it, and you trust Ran Carthon with what he's doing, hit that like button and we'll get started. Welcome into Titans Today. I'm Abby Alonso, and like I said, Titans are not tanking. There will be no tanking for Tennessee. Ran Carthon said this last week. Can you imagine a conversation where I walk into a room and ask Mike Vrabel if there's a way that we can tank this year? That's not how Mike is wired. Mike is a winner. Regardless of what is going on around us or who is taking the field, the objective is to always win. First of all, that's not who I am. Second of all, I would never approach Mike with the thought of us potentially tanking. And that is good news, Titans fans, because there are a lot of big moves being made, a lot of questionable rumors going around the rumor mill right now that have Titans fans kind of wondering what the heck is going on. Well, he eased your doubts. We're not tanking. Before we continue on with a really hot mailbag, shout out to y'all for the awesome questions. Make sure you hit the sub button, because if the Titans aren't tanking, then what are they going to do? Well, I'm going to let you know on Titans Today. Hit that sub button so that you can stay in the loop. Let's get started with this mailbag. Like I said, you guys had some great questions. I'm excited to answer. I love chopping it up. I'm glad you guys interact and comment on those posts on our YouTube channel. It makes my job so much easier, and it makes the shows more fun. So without further ado, Aaron Goff is going to kick us off with the first question. Do you think Tannehill will be cut sometime soon or after this season? Well, Ran Carthon said a couple weeks ago that Tannehill is a Titan, and he will be a Titan, so that makes me believe that he will at least ride it out this season. Then again, things change every day. There's potential that he could be cut after the June 1st date, because you'd save $27 million. So did Ran Carthon lie? I don't think he lied. I think he was being honest with what he believes, that Ryan Tannehill is a Titan. He's going to be a Titan for at least a little bit longer. He didn't say through the season. He didn't say next season, but he will be a Titan. I think they ride with him this season, though. Bringing me to the next question. Are we trading or cutting Tannehill after his contract ends? I think that depends a lot on what goes on before the next season, to be completely honest, because there are a lot of quarterback questions, and there are more Ryan Tannehill trade rumors. The most recent is placing him in Atlanta. And we thought, okay, well, Lamar Jackson received the non-exclusive franchise tag. He's going to end up with the Falcons. But they straight up came out and said, we're not even pursuing Lamar Jackson. So this rumor could have some, a little bit of a realistic it could be real. It could be real. One, Arthur Smith was the Titans offensive coordinator when Ryan Tannehill was named to the Pro Bowl. They had a great run. Atlanta's roster is stacked compared to what Tennessee's currently is. They're trying to work on it, but it would be very good for Ryan Tannehill to go to a team with guys like Kyle Pitts, Drake London, a productive O-line. It would do him a lot of good. And the Falcons just got rid of Marcus Mariota. Do they completely trust Desmond Ridder to lead this team? I don't think. I think he proved himself a little bit, but there's still questions, and there's a little bit of doubt on whether you want Ridder to be QB1 for the Falcons. So this Ryan Tannehill trade rumor could be a little bit kind of real. I think then you ask the question, well, what does that do for Tennessee? It would kind of screw them in the quarterback situation. Well, the good thing is there are a lot of different moves Tennessee can make if they do trade Ryan Tannehill, including this crazy one, Lamar Jackson. Steven came in with this question. Teams are dropping in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes. Will Tennessee Titans join the list, or are they ready to get Lamar Jackson? I talked about this briefly a couple shows ago, and I think this could go either way. If they do trade Ryan Tannehill, he is absolutely somebody they should look into, but I'm going to weigh the pros and cons here. Why is it maybe not the smartest for Tennessee to look into Lamar Jackson? Well, it would cost them 2 first-round picks. Not only that, but you're going to be paying him a big paycheck. He doesn't want a little contract. He wants a nice piece. That's part of the problem on why he and Baltimore could not come up with a deal. So you're going to be paying him a lot of money as well as losing 2 first-round picks. There are other issues on the roster that really need immediate attention. So do you just turn a blind eye to those and focus on getting a franchise quarterback, or do you maybe try to ride it out with Ryan Tannehill and fix the O-line, fix the receiver room, the defense? You grab Lamar, you're probably foregoing fixing some of those issues this year. The injury risk, he's had the knee problems, the ankle problems. I'm not saying he's the most injury-ridden quarterback. It would be a terrible idea, but that is something you have to think of when you are about to sign a contract with such a high-profile, big-name player, especially when you're looking for your franchise quarterback. This isn't just a 1-year deal. This would probably be a 4-year deal. You have to look at the injury history and how it would affect the team if he was to be in Tennessee. Again, Ryan Tannehill is still on the roster. He's got 1 more year with his contract. If you bring in Lamar, you would probably have to trade Ryan Tannehill and hope to get something out of that. Cut him post June 1st if Lamar is still not signed to a team. And there's questions on whether his MVP level of play will last, because he was the 2019 MVP, and sure, that's great, but it's 2023, and you're looking to sign this guy through 2026 possibly. Can he sustain that level of play? Now I'm going to flip the roles here and play the other side. Why it might be a good idea. Ironically enough, he is an MVP quarterback. He is a very good quarterback. He's good on the ground. He is athletic. That is, while it is a con, maybe that, can he hold up? It's also a pro, because we've seen what he's capable of. He's an MVP quarterback that would be great to have in Tennessee. Definitely an upgrade from Ryan Tannehill. This is a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing. So yes, you would be going all in. You would give up 2 first-round draft picks, a lot of money. You'd be overlooking some of the holes on the roster maybe, or maybe getting some lesser value players to fill those holes. But you could score big here. It is a high reward situation where if you get Lamar Jackson and he does well with Tim Kelly in this offense, you could be really successful. He's a long-term quarterback. Again, you can ride out with Ryan Tannehill for the next year and then try to focus on, okay, now what? We don't have a quarterback under contract. We've got to figure something out. Or you sign Lamar Jackson this year and your questions for who will play quarterback are at least out the window for the next couple years, barring no serious injuries or tanking or whatever. Trading Ryan Tannehill, again, the rumors are swirling. I don't know if it actually does happen. I don't know how much you really get out of it, but you would have to do it if you want to grab Lamar. And of course, he would relieve Derrick Henry. He's good on the ground. This offense is, if Derrick Henry is still in Tennessee, let me say that. But this offense is very reliant on Derrick Henry. Having a quarterback who runs would take some of that weight off of Derrick Henry's shoulders, kind of disperse the offense a little bit. I think it would be a good fit for Lamar Jackson. But that's just what I think. You guys head down to the comment section and let me know who you want to be QB1 in 2023. You've got a lot of options at this point. Nothing is too crazy, so let me know in the comment section. Moving on, Chase Street with the next question. With the speculation of trading Henry to the Bills, if we could get some good draft picks and Devin Singletary back, it might be worth it. I mean, Henry might not have long before going downhill, and I honestly think our window of winning a Super Bowl may have already closed. Okay, strong take there. I appreciate the honesty. But we're going to look at Derrick Henry and his production. Just this year alone, first off, his production has not fallen off. Yes, is he getting up there in age? He's 29. Of course, that's something you have to think about, but I don't think he's fallen off so much so that you want to look at trading him. To be completely honest, you might get an early 3rd rounder, a late 2nd rounder, because there's so many good running backs in free agency and in the draft. He is 29, and other teams are realizing that too. So do you really want to pay up all this draft stock for a guy who, like you're saying, could fall off pretty soon? Do you trade him before it's too late, though? Could the Titans really benefit that much from trading him? I'm not sure. He's still consistent. Yes, he had a great season with the second most rushing yards by a running back just behind Josh Jacobs. And that's for being 29 years old, and he's done a really good job of holding down the Titans offense. I don't know if trading him is the right idea just because of how prominent he is. And we saw what happened with A.J. Brown and the way that they traded him away and he popped off and then the receiver room was just trash. You don't want to see that. You don't want to trade away your franchise running back and then struggle in the run game. Zeno with this one, why would the Titans trade their only real weapon? Seems like a huge mistake if they did it. I'm going to get to this question in just a moment, but first I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor in Fanatics. Look at this beautiful green Titans gear. Of course, St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, and if you just can't go a weekend without repping the Titans, then this is perfect for you. It's green, but it's still Tennessee Titans gear, and it looks really cool. You'd stand out amongst a wave of green. But make sure you go to Fanatics, chatsports.com/TitansGreen, and gear up so that you can rep the Titans even on St. Patrick's Day. Getting back to Zeno's question, why would the Titans trade their only real weapon? Well, Jonathan Jones from CBS kind of agrees with you here. He doesn't think it is the smartest move for the Titans, to be completely honest. He says, I know there's talk that the Titans are shopping running back Derrick Henry, but my sources tell me they are not. I had been told general manager Ran Carthon would be methodical in his approach to free agency and changes to the team. The releases of tackle Taylor Lewan and receiver Robert Woods weren't surprising, and cutting loose edge rusher Bud Dupree also makes sense. I don't believe the Titans see any tangible free agent upgrade at quarterback over Ryan Tannehill, and taking away the most essential part of the offense in Henry would indicate Tennessee is tanking more than anything. So the Titans can very much contend in the AFC South, and they'll have to do that with Henry. I think I agree here because, like I said at the beginning of this, Ran Carthon has made it clear he is not one to tank. And I think if you get rid of Derrick Henry, you risk that. I think you risk maybe needing a full rebuild. We knew all the moves that have been made so far were moves we knew were going to happen. Taylor Lewan, Robert Woods, Bud Dupree. And then there's still questions around the quarterback room, which we haven't gotten there yet. That'll come soon, maybe in free agency. But like he said, I don't know that there is anybody in free agency right now that is necessarily an upgrade over Ryan Tannehill. I don't think they get rid of Derrick Henry. I don't think that's in the cards. I personally would not trade him. Again, I don't think you get as much as you would like to get out of a trade like that, but I could be wrong. What do you think? Sound off in the comments section. Should the Titans trade Derrick Henry? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You can be really honest. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. Mark with the next question. Are the Titans Super Bowl contenders if they cut Dupree, trade Tannehill, sign Lamar Jackson, Mike McGlinchey, and Allen Lazard? Let's break that down. They are cutting Bud Dupree at the beginning of the league year, which is March 15th. That is next Wednesday. Free agency starts. He will be cut. That saves some money. Trading Tannehill, again, up in the air. The rumors have come out that he'll land in Atlanta. You don't know how true those are because Ran Carthon did say that he would be a Titan this year. It's not to say he'd be QB1. Signing Lamar Jackson, I think if you sign Lamar Jackson, like I said earlier, you've got to trade Tannehill. Mike McGlinchey would be a good offensive lineman to bolster that front seven. I talked about Orlando Brown. As much as he would be great, I think he's too expensive. I think Mike McGlinchey would be very beneficial for the offense. And Allen Lazard is a wide receiver I would keep my eye on as well because of his veteran experience. He said he wasn't going back to Green Bay. He kind of got pushed to the side with Christian Watson up there. And I think he could be a good pair with Traylon Burks, Kyle Phillips. If all of those moves happen, I don't know that the Titans would be Super Bowl contenders. I want to say yes, but we're going to see the the talent out of this draft class come to life, especially in the AFC South. And you've got such solid teams right now, and there's franchises that are on the come up. Titans are rebuilding. Whether we want to say it or not, they're rebuilding. I don't know that the first year of Ran Carthon coming in and changing everything up leads them to a Super Bowl. However, it could happen. Crazier things have happened. But yeah, hopefully they end up there. I'm not sure they do. Next question, are we going to sign a wide receiver in free agency like Jakobi Meyers? I talked about Jakobi Meyers earlier this week as well. He's had a good past 4 years. He's become the Patriots' #1 receiver. He's led them in receiving yards. He does work well at the slot, which would be helpful for the Titans. He can also play on the outside, which would help out Treylon Burks. He was an undrafted free agent, became the Patriots' leading receiver, which just tells you about his work ethic. And he'd be an ideal leader in a receiving room, looking for Treylon Burks to kind of step up in year 2. The thing is, I don't see the Patriots letting him walk. However, they're not close on a deal. That's what we're hearing, that they're not close on a deal. So do they let him walk? He would be a nice addition to Tennessee. I just have a feeling he's not leaving New England. But yes, free agency starting this week. It will be important to look for a receiver in free agency if you prioritize maybe a left tackle in the draft. If you want to get, I think it would be smart to get a veteran receiver in this receiver room. Jakobi Meyers, Allen Lazard, 2 very good options. James with the next one. Who do we take, and can the Titans cut Dennis Allen? I believe you're talking about the draft. Who do we take in the draft? Dennis Allen, excuse me, Dennis Daly. Lots of rumors going on around the NFL right now. Who do you take in the draft? I think the smartest move, the safest move, would be Paris Johnson or Peter Skoronski with that 11th overall pick. That kind of sets your foundation, getting the O-line right, because there are holes. This needs to be fixed. Look at all the free agents on this graphic. Dennis Daly, Aaron Brewer, Corey Levin, Nate Davis, all free agents. Let's remember they cut Ben Jones on Friday, just getting up there in age. I think he was 34, and they saved just over $3.5 million in cap space, so that helped out. But Dennis Daly led the entire league in blown blocks with 51. Aaron Brewer was in the top 10 in blown blocks among guards with 34. Davis is a free agent. I think that's probably one of the ones you really need to re-sign. But going back to your question, I believe drafting a tackle, drafting an offensive lineman, helping set the foundation so that you can start to build your talent and your playmakers, I think that's your safest move. And I think cutting Dennis Daly is probably also, it might be in the near future. I have heard this from plenty of people. This is a common desire of a lot of people to get rid of Dennis Daly. Not happy with his performance. I think before you worry about cutting other people, you got to worry about who's going to replace Taylor Lewan and Ben Jones, and maybe re-sign Nate Davis. All right, moving on. Where do you think the Titans place in the AFC South next season? Well, that is a very difficult question to answer right now because of what the draft has not. Let me say this. The Panthers just traded up for the #1 spot, okay? I personally believed that the Colts or the Texans were going to do that. Panthers snuck out of nowhere, did it. Not nowhere, kind of lingering, but they did it full on, full send. I think how the AFC South plays out really depends on the quarterbacks the Texans and the Colts grab. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, if they can land in the AFC South, we're going to see some interesting things. Not only does it depend on the other teams in the division, but what is happening in Tennessee's quarterback room? Are you going to go after Lamar Jackson? Are you going to stick with Ryan Tannehill? Are you going to try to draft somebody? I think it is too early to say, but I will say I think the level of play in the AFC South is going to be a 180 from what it was last year. And on that note, we will wrap up the mailbag. Thank you again for putting those questions on our channel. I really appreciate it. It's always fun chopping it up with you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all soon.